US armored divisions are really interesting because they ended up as a kind of template for the modern combined arms brigade combat team. But like the others, they started 2 tank heavy, 2 tank regiments of 3 battalions each to 1 armored infantry regiment. But by late 1943, newly formed divisions lost half their tanks to equalize with infantry, and they also lost their regimental structure, instead just having 3 tank battalions and 3 armored infantry battalions, and replacing the regimental headquarters with 3 new tactical headquarters known as combat commands. And these combat commands could be configured or task organized with armored and infantry battalions attached to them as needed. Typically they'd each have 1 tank battalion and 1 infantry battalion, which would work in close coordination with each other. And this is obviously the way forward, right? In armored formations especially, you're going to have infantry and tanks working closely alongside each other pretty much all the time. So it doesn't really make sense to have them siloed in separate tank and infantry regiments. Of course, other armies had also caught on to this. The Germans implemented it in a slightly more ad hoc way with the Kampfgruppe, throwing together tanks and infantry and whatever other combined arms they needed to achieve the objective. By the way, please do make sure you're following if you want to hear more about military doctrine, formation, organization. Like, I know I haven't mentioned the Soviet Tank Corps. It's like the World War II Soviet equivalent of an armored division, even though it's called a corps. It's made up of brigades that are really just reinforced battalions. Yeah, the Soviet Tank Corps is weird. I'll probably go into more detail on that at some point.